happy December 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I hope you're doing fantastic. I am going to add a little more energy to the cards, but as you know, I always pre-shuffle. I don't like to spend too much time on camera shuffling. If you don't like that, if you prefer I shuffle on camera, then I can start to do that. So, again, I hope you're doing wonderful. Last month of the year, I can't believe how fast it is going. It's unbelievable. These cards are really tight all of a sudden. So, this is a love reading. This is for singles and anybody looking to reconcile. I generally focus on singles because those are the people who watch, like, subscribe, order private reads, etc. So, I also like to focus on reconciliation because if you think about it to a certain extent, anybody looking to reconcile is single. They may just not have a completely open heart at the moment. So, let's go ahead and get started on the cards first, and then I'll pull your theme of the month card. All right, so let's go ahead and put these out. So, as I was saying, my reads are for singles and anybody looking to reconcile, and it is focused on love. As always, check your sun, moon, and rising. Hopefully this resonates with you, but some months those signs will resonate with you more than other months. If you'd like a private read, the information is in the description. Any likes, subscribes, comments, etc. are always greatly appreciated because I like to hear from you to see what you like, what you don't like. About 2 reads ago, I asked you guys if you wanted the reads up or down. Everybody that month said down. Then last month, people started saying up. And now the majority so far has been down. So whatever I get in December is pretty much what I'm going to stick to. Again, this is general. So hopefully it resonates with the majority of you, but it may not resonate with you. There we go. I'm going to pull your theme of the month card before we get started. I move pretty fast. As you know, I have a lot to say and a lot I want to get without taking up too much of your time. Again, this is Dark Dove Tarot, and if you feel like subscribing, liking, commenting, etc., it's always appreciated. All right, Aquarius, December 2017. Can't believe it, we're moving into 2018. But let's get started for your read. That one flew. So, all right, you have the Queen of Wands starting out with as your theme of the month. So just kind of the tempo of the month. And this is actually a really good card. I love this card because the Queen of Wands is somebody who's confident, who's feeling very creative, very focused, very passionate. It's like this ferocity that's kind of like rare. I mean, obviously you can tell from the card, this is somebody who's, you know, hot to trot, somebody on fire. So not a bad place to be, Aquarius. I would not complain about feeling this way. You know, it's kind of those good hair days where you're just feeling really good, really balanced. You go out, you have that smile on your face, you know, and people will react to that because it's kind of like what you're putting off. So people, you know, tend to react to that as well. It's like a magnetism. If you put that off, that vibe that, hey, I'm here, I'm charming and I'm feeling good, they react in that same way. So most of your interaction is very positive, or you'll notice people may be, you know, wanting to talk to you. They're kind of drawn to you a little bit because people generally want to be around people who make them feel good and who have a good vibe. I mean, don't you kind of shy away from people who are like pissed at the world? So, all right, coming into the month, your current position is the 10 of Cups. All right, so Aquarius, the 10 of Cups is joy. This is peacefulness. This is balance. This is, you know, family. This right here, if you're single, is like me seeing you focusing on your goals. Whether your goal is to have a family, whether it's to get married, whether it's to just find a relationship, whether it's to, you know, meet somebody and adopt a dog, whatever your idea of peace, love, harmony in the future, you definitely have your sights set on it this month, because coming into the month like that is pretty big. That's saying that if you're dating, either you've met 1 or 2 people. I feel like this is active for you. Like you've met 1 or 2 people that you think maybe you could commit to, or this might solidify you've been dating somebody and you're like all of a sudden seeing yourself with them long term. It's something that, it's like a card of possibilities, but it's showing up. So it means like you're here and there's room for this in your life, and you're feeling with this person, or maybe, again, it could be 2 or 3 people you've met, or you may not have met them. It just means that they're coming, but you're focused on the end result for you. And again, it doesn't have to be family. It doesn't have to be marriage. Whatever it is you're focused on in your love life, you're emulating that. And so you're manifesting that by thinking about it. It's almost like you're putting yourself in the situation. I was a Cancer that I had seen, you know, in some workshops, that like if you're ready to settle down and you want to envision yourself in a relationship, you know, people go to extremes such as like setting a place at the dinner table, or I don't know that I could do that, because then it might, like, you know, that if I was feeling lonely might encourage the loneliness, but to some people works. I mean, they say, you know, put out what you want to get back, and if you're putting that out there, I guess, you know, that could work really well. They were talking about, you know, sleeping on one side of the bed or parking on one side of the driveway. So I feel like Aquarius, you're kind of coming into the month, whether you've met a person, whether you met a few people that you feel like you can meet, or maybe you're just dating a good crop of people, or you're meeting, you know, there's like all of a sudden people who definitely seem like they would be positive in your life. This 10 is saying that whatever it is, you're focused on the bigger picture, the end result, what your goal is individually. So that's a good place to be in. It's very positive energy. If you're looking to reconcile, this says that you're also focused on some sort of peace and reconciliation with this person. So one other sign had a similar situation where coming into the month, it was kind of like maybe there had been some bad past or some bad blood with this person, and now you're feeling like not pointing the fingers. And this is very similar too. This is kind of like you're ready to get past all the, whatever it was, all the animosity, any anger. You've gone through the stages of like sadness, anger, grief, etc. And now you're kind of like, I, you know, could see myself being with this person long term. Maybe there were some mistakes. Maybe there was some times that just weren't very good and we just couldn't get it together. But at the end of the day, I could see myself really having a family with them. Now, for some of you, it's somebody that was long term, that you were married to with kids, or that you had a combined family that you guys have separated now, and maybe you had stepkids, or even if you weren't married, you were in a relationship that you treated each other's kids like family. So you may be focused on the end goal, which is how do we get our family back? The next card you have is anything internal coming into the month. So anything you're feeling. And you have this star, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful card, but it's also the Aquarius card. So this says you're showing up very much this month being yourself. So if you're single, you're just not hiding. You're not playing any games. You're not wearing any masks. You're just kind of feeling free to be you. And again, I think that has something to do with either the people you've been meeting, or maybe you're just feeling more vamped up, more positive, more confident about the dating world right now. So either you've had a good experience, or you have that energy of that knowing that it's coming, but somewhere along the lines, you're really stepping in and owning yourself. Now the star, this is internal. So this isn't, you know, an expectation that's coming in your future or etc. But this is, you feel like a superstar. So maybe you're just feeling really good about yourself. Maybe you did physical things to your appearance. Maybe you're working out. Maybe you've changed habits and you're feeling healthier. Maybe you're just surrounding yourself with better people. But it's also the possibility that you've met that person that you're dating, or you've met 1 or 2 people that you're kind of like, okay, this could be, you know, my diamond in the rough. And that may be why you're so happy coming into this month, feeling like, you know, this person could be somebody that you could really see yourself long term with. Now, I don't think you're feeling like this is the one, although some of you may be, but you're just happy that you're finally meeting somebody who has potential, or that you're finally meeting a few people that you can date that have that potential. So it's very positive. I mean, to have the star and the 10 of Cups come in the beginning, that's a real radiance, and it's nice. If you're looking to reconcile, this is very positive energy as well. The star is hope. It's inspiration. So if you're looking to reconcile, you feel that inspiration. You're feeling good. And you're also feeling generous. So it's kind of like, if this person that you're thinking about or you want to get in contact with, you're kind of like, I may reach out to them, and if they can't be bothered with me, oh well. I'm just going to open myself up, put myself out there. And you know that if they don't desire the same from you, or they don't give you, you know, nice, warm and fuzzies when you reach out to them, then you don't have to pursue it, because you're kind of feeling like yourself, kind of feeling like your self-esteem is built up again. And so you may, and it may be that they're going to reach out to you, or they may have just recently communicated with you. And that's why you're feeling this, because all of a sudden they communicated with you. Maybe you thought there was, you know, death to the relationship, no chance of reconciliation. And now you're seeing this and you're feeling this about the possibility of reconciliation. So if you haven't been contacted by them, or you haven't contacted them, and it does come to fruition this month, I don't think it's going to be the negative experience. And I think at some point you thought it really would be, and you've been building up this fear of it. And this month you're just kind of like, you know, what could be wrong with being contacted by somebody that I could see myself doing this with? The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past few years, could be 5-10 years, it could be your childhood. And you have the Hermit. So very interesting, because here you are as the Aquarius, and then here the Hermit card represents Virgo. So you may have been dealing with a Virgo in your past, or an Earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But the Hermit is somebody who's isolated, somebody who is kind of in their woman or man cave, just retreated from everything. So, you know, at some point in your past, I always read this for singles and anybody looking to reconcile together, because, you know, this is, again, somebody from your distant past. Now, it could be that this person you're looking to reconcile with is from your distant past, but most of the times this embodies relationships that didn't work out, that came to an end. And I always bring up the past because you want to remember what good things from the past to dwell on, and what bad things from the past to use as a reminder of habits or behaviors not to get back into. So the Hermit is somebody who's gained wisdom. So this says you've learned a lot from your past, and you're trying to emote that into your future dealings with relationships. But this is also somebody who has gained some spirituality. Now, this could be that at once upon a time you were in a very religious sect. So maybe you were in a certain religion, you know, that directed your life. Maybe you were staunch Catholic or Mormon or Jewish, and none of that is bad. But this could mean that at some point those played a bigger role in you finding love than the actual feelings or the love part. And I'm not saying that it's a negative thing, because I know a lot of people in those situations and they're very happy. But the Hermit says that there's something like you decided to, you know, take a pause on the religion part of it. It could be that you grew up in a very, very strict home as far as religion, or you grew up in a, you know, you had to be abstinent until marriage, or whatever the case is, and you decided to kind of take a furlough from that type of situation. And maybe you're coming back in wanting those things, and it could just be that you decided to take a break from love in general. And we're talking about a long period of retreating from any type of love. As some of you, it's kind of like all of a sudden you decided to meditate, or you decided to get your career off to a path. Like, this is a long break from love. Maybe you had a death at some point in your relationship, or somebody close to you, a family member, and love just wasn't something on the horizon for you. It also could be that you gained a spirituality. Maybe you grew up in a home that, you know, had a lot of abuse or different things, and along the way you've gained this wisdom that you don't have to carry that in other relationships. Just because maybe you saw a parent get beaten, or a sibling get beaten, or maybe you saw drugs happening, or major alcoholism. The Hermit says that maybe you've gained some sort of spiritual awakening, but it's taken you a while to gain that wisdom. And you're still learning, because we're always all still learning in life. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past a month or two, and you have the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, as you can see, has a baby here. So this could mean that if you're single, you are looking for this love, this family aspect, having kids. the whole kit and caboodle if that's what your whole kit and caboodle is. Not everybody's going to want kids or want marriage, etc. But the Ace of Wands is very interesting because this energy is similar to the Queen energy, and it's like this abundance factor. So the Ace of Wands, if you want kids, now's the time to pursue somebody who wants kids. The Ace of Wands is passion and creativity, just like the Queen of Wands. And these are both fire cards, or fire sign cards. So you may be dealing with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands are feeling like phenomenally good. They're feeling, I mean, literally the textbook definition of both of these cards, some of which is passion and creativity. So you're definitely working on things. You're coming up with, you know, creative ways to date, or creative ways to really spend time with people and get to know people. I don't see Aquarius this month just being like, hey, do you want to go to the coffee shop and hang out for 20 minutes to meet and greet? You're kind of like, let's go do something fun. Let's, you know, whatever your idea of fun is. Let's go to the, you know, the animal shelter and walk dogs, like volunteer to walk dogs. Or maybe you're, you know, going to the local food bank and volunteering to pass out food, or, you know, whatever it is. It could be you're going to a rock climbing place. I just see Sagittarius kind of branching out and doing things that are different. A little more inspiring, a little more, it's like you have this energy and enthusiasm. If you're single, I really feel like if you haven't met these people, you'll be meeting them in December. People that are going to break you out of your shell. You might even be in like a meetup group. Maybe you join some like, you know, bowling group, or maybe a group that taste tests wine, or a reading group. Somewhere here, there's like a good amount of positive energy coming in, and I see it in the form of people. Now, I don't think that you're dating all of them, but I think maybe these people introduce you to people, or there's a possible person or two in the group that you're interested in dating. But there's a lot of good energy here, Aquarius. And as you can see, you know, she's holding the baby, which means these are beginnings and possibilities for the future, which are very good. But over the past 2 weeks, past month or so, you've been doing something to kind of push this along. It's not like you've been sitting here going, okay, universe, make it happen, make it rain. You're like, no, I'm going to walk around with a positive attitude. I'm going to walk around, I lost 3 pounds and I'm feeling freaking fantastic about it. Maybe you lost 40 pounds. Maybe you're, you know, you haven't gotten your hair cut in 6 months and you're just feeling good. Whatever it is, keep it up, because the momentum and positive energy so far is really feeling amazing. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, there's something here going on with kids. I don't know what it is, but it's just coming through full throttle. Either you're pregnant and you guys have separated. I don't want to think negatively, because I generally try and do positive in my readings, but somebody out there is like seeing somebody, and maybe it was like an adult, it was like an affair, and now you're maybe pregnant, or they're pregnant, and you're kind of like, this will be what brings us back together. But if it's that type of situation, I don't necessarily know that that's the best situation to bring you back together, especially if they're seeing somebody, or if it was an affair of some sort. So just think about that. But the Ace of Wands is saying, look, you know, there's a good possibility of a rebirth here, of starting over, and you're feeling that energy. Now, again, it could be that, you know, you guys had a family, even if it was stepkids, or even if it was just you guys live together and you both treat each other's kids. There's something here that's going to help bring you together. And it may be because, like, here in the US, it's the holidays, and so you decided, well, we're going to put up a happy front and, you know, get together because we want to make our kids happy. And you're just enjoying that because you get to be with these kids that you really like, and you're also hoping that maybe that sparks the initiation you need for you guys to have some sort of conversation about possibly reconciling. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, generally the next 3 months, and you have the Nine of Cups. Goodness, Aquarius, like you're on like fire, you're radiating here, because now you have the Nine of Cups, which is just pleasure, bliss. This is like rubbing a lamp and getting a magic genie. So over the next few months, if you're single, your wish is out there. Put out into the universe what you want. If you want somebody good, you know, put out there that you're a decent person, do good things. If you're, you know, wanting somebody who is fun and energetic, put out that energy, but you already are. I mean, you're absolutely putting that out there. And like I said, you're really manifesting like what you want. Maybe you have a, you know, a vision board or something, and that's what you've been doing, and you're seeing it all come together. And I really think either you've met somebody or you're going to, and it's going to spark that energy. Like, hey, I was thinking there wasn't anybody out there for me, but you came out approaching it as this can-do attitude, as this positive vibe, and there you go. That's like, this is the universe saying, your wish is my command. What you put out there, what you want, whatever you're looking for. But see, the thing is, one of the best cards in here is the Star, because this is you. So you are you, and you're doing it for real without pretending to be somebody else. You are genuinely showing up. And this fire energy is genuinely you putting off this confidence and enthusiasm and energy. And I look at this and think that you were just like, fuck it. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody else. And for the first time in your life, you feel like you're accepted wholeheartedly and genuinely by people around you. And not just people that you're looking to date, or not just people, or not just energy you're giving off in the dating world, but your family, your friends. People are noticing that you just feel like you fit in your own skin. And Aquarius, I mean, what could be better than that? If you're looking to reconcile, same thing. Your wish is my command is what the universe is saying. This is one of my all-time favorite cards in the deck, because it's saying, look, there's beautiful things. Not to mention this card is one of the best cards. This is hopeful. This is inspiration. You're inspiring people, but people are also inspiring you, and you're taking it all in. If you're looking to reconcile, this is you saying, okay, I think we could do this. I really think we could do this. And here's why. And I think you may be coming up with like creative ideas in different situations in the past. Like, I feel like maybe you or your partner or your ex, I said partner, but maybe that's what it's meant to be said. Maybe that's what I meant to say, although I said it subconsciously, because that will be, this person will be coming back. Now, it could be somebody from the past, not the most recent person you broke up with. It could be somebody that you've been admiring from afar, somebody you knew back in the day, somebody, you know, maybe you dated a few years ago, and you guys are all of a sudden like back in touch. Maybe the kids signal here is that you guys have kids that are the same age or go to school together, or somehow they bumped into each other. There's some significance here with kids. Some of you may resonate with that and some of you may not, but I bet somebody's going to reach out and say, hey, you know, that's exactly it. Like, we're having a child, or we have kids together, and that's what's bringing us back. But this is saying, look, if you really want it, you can make it happen. But coming into reconciliation in a very positive vibe and very passionate vibe is very important, because I don't feel you pointing your finger and saying, you did this, you did that. Now, I'm sure some of you are still feeling a bit contrite or feeling a bit spiteful or angry. But right now, you're just looking forward to the future, and you're kind of going, hey, can we do this? And the Nine of Cups is saying you can. You can have this blissful whatever you want. It's a fulfillment. And if you play your cards right, you know, you can get it. But there may need to be some changes. That may just be what this is that if you guys are going to reconcile, you have to change the way you're looking at your relationship. Because for some of you, it may have just been like a committed dating relationship, and now you want something more, and that may be what you're working on. The next card you have is your immediate future. So the next few weeks and through the month of December, and that's a very interesting card to have here. But makes sense, and you have some major arcana here. The Tower card, this is all about dissolution. This is all about tearing things down, rebuilding, breaking down everything, and then putting it back piece by piece by piece. So if you're single, this is throwing everything out the window that you know about dating. This is throwing out every preconceived notion that you have about the people you're supposed to be with, what you're supposed to be looking for in love. And this is saying, dissolve all of that. Have that revelation that things are never going to be perfect. Have that revelation that dating will never be perfect, but have that energy and passion and confidence to know that you're going to come into this. The Tower can be a scary card. This is taking away everything that you're used to and everything you know. But to get here and to get what you want, you just have to be yourself. And that's how you're coming in this month. And the Tower may also signal dating people you're not used to dating, taking risks you're not used to. If this isn't your general state of mind, being this confident, kind of charming, sexy person, you're definitely going to be throwing caution to the wind. I had a friend tell me recently that he was going to make 2018 spectacular because he was going to do everything that made him uncomfortable. And this tower reminds me of that for you, Aquarius. Not uncomfortable in a bad way, but he just said things that I shy away from, or things that I want to do, but then when it gets down to it, it makes me uncomfortable. Or he said, you know, maybe I'll date somebody that I normally wouldn't date, or maybe, you know, I'll go take that aerobics class even though I feel like I look ridiculous, or whatever. And so Aquarius, I think that really resonates with me with what he said about himself. And he's not an Aquarius, but he is a fire sign, however. But this resonates here because I feel like you're showing up. This is you saying, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what makes me feel good. I know what I want. I know what I'm looking forward to. And I'm just feeling good about it. And I'm just not going to, it's like you're not going to be a yes man or not going to be a yes woman. You're not going to please everybody. You're going to take some time to please yourself. And in the end, that's going to resonate and shine through because other people are going to see your genuineness and just your positive vibe. And they're going to feel a magnetism to you for that. So there's definitely some major, major positive things coming for you. This tower is just kind of testing what you're made of. And you've got this. If you're looking to reconcile, I really think this is saying, look, whatever you guys had in the past that didn't work, you can rebuild from there. You can have everything you want if you're willing to sacrifice and do the work. Now, at some point, I feel like there was some sort of betrayal because the tower signifies having some sort of betrayal and realizing it. But if you can get past that, then you're golden. If you can't, then you're going to need to break it and go. Now, what's interesting is I brought up here that some of you may have had an affair, or maybe you found out it was an affair. There's something in the tower that says if that's the case for you, you're really going to have to make some decisions here. But for the most part, I think the tower's saying you have to tear your entire thought of this relationship down. Or if it's somebody from your past that maybe you haven't been dating in the past year or so, and all of a sudden you've met them, you bumped into them, you've been thinking about them, there's communication here. Whatever you thought was there, whatever you remember that might have been negative from the past relationship, you have to let that go. Because there's something here that's changed. Even if it's somebody you're looking to reconcile with that you broke up 6 months ago, you can't dwell on whatever it was that was negative. The tower's saying, look, break it down, throw that out the window, come in fresh with new perspectives, new passion. But that's easy for you this month because that's what you're showing you're capable of doing. The next card you have is anything external throughout the month of December. Anything tangible, and you have the Knight of Swords. And this could be in the beginning, the middle, the end. It could happen for one day, it could happen for the whole month. But this is just, you know, something that may come into your situation. Now, if you're single, this is saying you're being very direct. You're using your logic. You're saying, I am who I am. I'm not going to take any BS. I won't deal with any BS. So if you're BSing me, you're out. This is you saying, I'm not afraid to cut ties. I'm not afraid to say no. I'm not afraid to say, this doesn't work for me. Because I'm not here to make everybody else happy. I'm here to make myself happy and somebody really special happy. And the Knight says, look, I'm respecting everybody. I like everybody. But I'm not going to try and be somebody that fits what it doesn't. So even if you date one or two people and all of a sudden they're offended, like, you don't like me, you're not interested in me. No, and you know what? You don't have to be. And you're going to be very direct. I don't think we fit together because, or you may just say, look, it's not working out for me. But whereas Aquarius, and that's you being yourself. Because before, maybe you were trying to please everybody. You were trying to say, well, I'll date this person, or, you know, this person likes me, so I might as well give them the benefit of it. No, if it doesn't work for you, society has become this, we've all become, not, and yes, all of us have probably done it at one point or another. I'm trying to get out of it. I know a lot of people are trying to get out of it. We're agreeing to things, or we're sticking with things that don't feel right. Even with friendships. It's like we're worried about not having friends. We're worried about being lonely. So we're willing to surround ourselves with people that just don't fit in our lives, that we don't agree with, that don't make us feel good. No. And Aquarius, you're saying this month, no, I'm out with the old and with the new. That's not going to happen. And you're not being conceited about it. You're not being rude. But why should you date somebody that doesn't make you feel good? You shouldn't. Guess what? They'll make somebody else feel good and you can move on. If you're looking to reconcile, this is you needing to confront something. So whatever it is, if there was a betrayal, if they're contacting you, okay, because I do get the sense that they're going to contact you, or maybe they have, or maybe you're going to. If they contact you, you've got to get this, you've got to break this down. So whatever, if there was a betrayal, or if there's something going on, the only way for you to get here and to get this peace of mind is to confront it. Now, you don't necessarily need to be hostile, and this card says don't be hostile. Don't make another enemy out of it. Don't go 6 more months arguing and not getting along. But the Knight says you have to confront your fears on this. Some of you are worried that you can't have this if you actually say, this is me, I need you to be genuine with me because I'm being genuine with you. And they need to break down their walls and you need to break down your walls. So somewhere in here, you need to confront something, some issue. It may be an infidelity. It may be that, you know, maybe it's a guy who has a lot of girlfriends or a girl who has a lot of guy friends. Whatever it is that's bothering you, or anything that, you know, caused major rifts in your relationship before, you need to address that. You need to confront it. And again, don't be hostile. It doesn't have to be finger pointing in the blame game. But you need to take care of that and fix it or resolve it or agree to disagree and move on, or it won't go any further. The next card you have is anything internal. So anything you're thinking or feeling throughout the month of December. Could be the beginning, could be the middle, the end. It could be, again, 1 day, 10 days. I always say that because I think people take this literally like, I'm going to have to do this all month. No, this is just, these are just 2 things that you're going to feel or see during the month. Now, the feeling here is judgment. So here, if you're looking to reconcile, I'm going to start with you, this card, because this is you having to step back. This is you having to resist the judgment. So if there was betrayal, if there was something, if you want them back, you're going to have to get over it. You're going to have to say, okay, I don't like the fact that you did that. And I didn't like you at that time. But if you want to reconcile, you're going to have to move on. Or move on and get this with somebody else. But if you're looking to reconcile, this says, you know, you've judged. You've had your time to feel your feelings. But if you want to reconcile, you have to confront it and get over it. You have to break those walls down and start anew. It's a rebirth. But the judgment also says that you need to think clearly about it. Maybe, you know, do some soulful thinking about it, because this is kind of make or break. Whatever decision you make or whatever you're feeling throughout the month of December, if you're feeling those butterflies and good feeling, then stick with it and continue. But if you're having this gnawing, oh, it's not, then what are you doing? Maybe it's time to take a stand and move on. I feel like for the majority of you, reconciliation is very possible. There's just some things you need to overcome to get there. If you're single, this says that you're looking back on things. You're reflecting this month. So maybe you're reflecting on how you've behaved, being the best you can be. But the judgment is saying that you're looking at things that maybe you didn't do in a relationship, or things that didn't, that maybe you don't feel good about. Maybe you know, were insecure in a relationship, or maybe you weren't nice in a relationship, or maybe you stuck in a relationship being this, you know, this yes man for too long, saying yes to people, or sticking in relationships that you know weren't healthy for you. This is you looking back, maybe meditating, taking some time to really think about how you played that role, because none of us are perfect. And this is you, Aquarius, saying, look, for me to be successful in a relationship, what behaviors could I change? Or what mentalities could I change? Could I be less quick to get angry? Could I be more trusting? Whatever it is with you, we all have different things in our relationship. And this is very positive in that, because this is you saying, look, you know, I spent time looking at the dating world and figuring out things, and you're on a new path to dating, a new path to meeting people. But what don't I want to repeat? What things, you know, could I leave out this next time? We could all use a dose of that. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome. So what you're going to be feeling at the end of December, and you have the 5 of Swords, and your outcome. And you have the 6 of Wands. Okay, so if you're single, the 5 of Swords is saying, look, don't defeat yourself. So always stay positive. Keep these positive vibes going, because the 5 is saying, look, if things don't go your way immediately, you can't have a defeatist attitude about it. You can't feel like it's not working for you. You've got to keep up this energy of this confidence and this ferocity and being this wonderful person, because this says, look, not everybody you're going to meet or date this month is going to make you feel 100%. Or guess what? If you meet somebody and you think, I could have this and this with them, and you're coming in the month feeling like this, and you're ending the next few months feeling like this, or you're seeing this and it's coming in, and you're noticing that you guys could form something and have an amazing bond, this is saying, don't let anything that doesn't go your way, or let's say you say, I really could see myself with you for a long term, and they say, you too, and you're like, I really like you, and they're like, I do, you too, and they don't all of a sudden go, hey, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, let's be committed, let's change our Facebook statuses. Don't feel like you've been defeated, because this guy is defeating himself. So he's saying, if he's basically self-sabotaging. So Aquarius, everything in this read is beautiful, amazing, but if things don't go your way, you have to have patience, because you don't want to do anything to sabotage it. And you have to understand that maybe one of these things that you're thinking about, that a behavior that you had in the past, is that if something didn't go the way you thought it would, or if something didn't move as quick, or if somebody didn't communicate with you as much, you could almost be more like a water sign, where it's like, you know, a Cancer, Scorpio, excuse me, oh, I thought I was going to sneeze, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, where, you know, this was you showing your vulnerable side a little more like a water sign does. And as an air sign, you can be hot and cold. You can be these swords. You can be this energy that's like cut and dry. And this is saying, look, don't be that way. Remember that, you know, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to look forward to these positive energies. I mean, this is amazing. This is an amazing start, and this is an amazing next few months. And this is an amazing outcome, and we'll get to that in a minute. And if you could feel like this all month, hell yeah, nothing wrong with that. If you're looking to reconcile, don't stab this person, okay? Whatever it is they did, again, if you really want to reconcile, then don't moan and groan about it. Either make the steps towards it or cut it off. And Aquarius can do that. You can be, you know, quick and sharp, or you can be loving and caring, depending on the situation. But this is saying, you know, don't have a fear of victory. Don't assume that everything is going to be roses immediately without battling it out first. And I'm not saying yelling or screaming or anything like that, but you can't jump right back in and be like, oh, everything's wonderful, when you know that there were things that were negative. Otherwise, you'd still be together. So figure those out, solve those issues, have conversations, even if you cannot come to an agreement on it, even if you're hurt. That's the thing about reconciliation. If you're ready for it and you truly want it, then you can make it work, as long as they're, right, they have to be wanting the same thing. But if you're not, and if you're worried about it, it's a lot of times I get, when I'm doing the videos and I talk about reconciliation, I get a lot of, well, he did this and she did that, and I tried, and, or they're doing this, or whatever. Then you really have to think, do you want to reconcile? If you do, then regardless of what they're doing and regardless of what they did, you're going to put forth positive energy. And if you do that, I would set a time limit. Okay, you know what, Dark Dove? I'm going to give it a month, and I will contact them once a week, and I will tell them that I appreciate them and that we can get through this, or I will whatever. And if after a month it doesn't work and you've put your all into it and they're not reciprocating, then don't torture yourself. Then move on. I know easier said than done, but if you can say you've done all that you can and you really want this person back, then do all you can to get them back. But if you sit and complain, then you're not getting anywhere. And then you're just wasting your time instead of either moving on and finding the love of your life or reconciling with somebody you truly feel is the love of your life. The next card you have is your outcome, and it's the 6 of Wands, and it's beautiful. The 6 of Wands is about victory. It's about achievement. So if you're single, I think I want to say it. It may sound silly, but this is you being like, I'm no longer single. I found somebody to date that's really good. Heck yeah. I'd be cheering. I'd be like smiling, laughing. I'd be celebrating myself. So this is you feeling victorious about something. This is you feeling good about it too. I feel like you met somebody, or you're going to meet somebody throughout the month of December that is going to be like somebody you're going to want to introduce to your friends and take home to mom and dad, or meet your sister, or, you know, this is like somebody you're like, huh, well, she always dogged on me, but guess what? I've got this really, you know, great guy or really great gal. So here, this is just feeling like you're finally figuring something out. You're feeling on top of the world. And this is saying, look, you know, I asked for it. I'm getting there, and I'm going to be coming to this. So this outcome, I think, is fantastic. I'm going to start shuffling your clarifying cards here. But this outcome of the Six of Wands is amazing, because it really is just feeling good about yourself and having a pride in what you've accomplished. And when it comes to love, I think you've accomplished a lot. And really, Aquarius, what I would be the most proud of is accomplishing, being able to get this and this without changing who you are or pretending to be somebody you're not. And I think that's like super important here with the Six of Wands ending the month being your outcome. So if you're looking to reconcile, this also says, look, whether you contact them, whether you have a conversation with them, I also feel some sort of victory here, because you're going to feel like, hey, like we took the next step. We're actually talking. We're actually communicating and having a decent conversation. We're actually getting along. We can actually have a discussion without it getting negative and nasty, or maybe just getting over the fact that whatever the betrayal was, whether it was you or that person or whatever was negative that brought you to the point of breaking up, you're going to feel like, hey, we can work through this. It may just be victory in the fact that they communicated with you, or you communicated with them. Heck, if you communicate with them for a week or two and they're not communicating with you and you're trying, cut it off, because you know what happens? I hate to say it, but it's just part of it. If they're not communicating with you and you're contacting them, whatever, and you cut it off, 9 times out of 10, they're going to come back, be like, wait, you're not contacting me. And you're going to be like, no, because you wouldn't bother with me. So somewhere along the line, you're going to feel some sort of achievement as well, you know, maybe to the next step. Maybe marriage and kids is what you wanted and one of you got cold feet. Whatever it is, you're going to feel like you've accomplished it. And it could just be an accomplishment of, hey, I did what I could to get in touch with them. They didn't want anything to do with me. I cut it off. I'm feeling like this, and I'm looking forward to this. So, good on you. The next card you have, sorry, my nose is stuffed up. I've been like feeling like I'm going to sneeze. All right, so you have 2 clarifying cards, and you have the 10 of Coins for your outcome. So the 10 of Coins is a beautiful card as well. Aquarius, your read is actually really phenomenal. The 10 of Coins is about legacy. It's about generosity. So if you're single, this is really saying, hey, you met somebody that you could have a legacy with. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. You've got all these family cards. You've got all these like kid cards, like family, hope, peace, love, new beginnings. So the 10 is definitely saying, look, you may have met somebody that you're going to set traditions with, somebody that you could take home to mom and dad, this person that you're proud of, somebody that you're like, I could call this person family. I could see myself having a family, even if it's a family of bulldogs, pot-bellied pigs. Like, this is somebody that you can see the bigger picture with. And you're going to feel like spoiling them, even if it's just with love and affection. You're really going to feel like giving your heart to this person. If you're looking to reconcile, this is you also feeling generous, but this is excessively generous and not in a negative way. This is maybe one of the things you learned the past few months about yourself is that in a relationship, maybe you're quick to get insecure, quick to judge, right? Or quick to think the negative, and you don't have to feel that way. And so this month, you maybe all of a sudden feel yourself more inclined to say nice things or to build them up, because maybe, have you ever been with somebody and all of a sudden you've turned that corner from just liking them to liking them a lot, and you notice that you're doting on them a little bit, more, or you're saying nicer things to them because you just feel that. This is how I feel like you're going to be feeling towards the end of December. Like you're going to be putting extra energy into it. You're going to just be feeling good and feeling confident in your ability and feeling confident in the fact that they're happy to start communicating with you again. All right, your outcome is the Chariot. Your clarifying card is the Chariot, which is Cancer. So it's very interesting, Aquarius, because you're showing up as yourself here. You have Virgo in the past, and then you have Cancer in the future. So maybe you're dealing with Cancer. But again, this is amazing because this is very much goes along here. The Chariot is somebody who is figuring out who they are. This is somebody who's in balance. This is somebody who has self-control. So this is you in balance with somebody. See, they're intertwined. Now the Chariot moves well if you're both moving in the same direction. That's what this is saying. Look, you're finally going to be moving in the same direction with somebody. This person who wants all the things you want. Again, it doesn't have to be family. It doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be kids. But whatever the end goal is for you, you can achieve it here, and you guys are both moving in the 7 direction. Or the 7, and that's so weird because I looked at the 7. So I don't know if it's going to be on the 7th you're going to meet this person, or 7 weeks, or 7 days. Very interesting because I saw the 7 and then I said the 7th direction. But the Chariot is a very good place to be because, see, you fit together well and you both have the same goals, same aspirations. You're just going to feel like you move well together, that you function as a couple together, that it's somebody you could see yourself, you know, spending day in and day out with. And that's a really, really excellent place to be. If you're looking to reconcile, there's 2 ways I'm going to read this. The Chariot's saying either you're going to figure out who you are, and this is all about self-control and realizing that who you are and realizing that there's just a duality here that you're not going to be able to come together on. But the main thing with this, so for some of you, it's not going to work. For some of you, you're going to go your separate ways. However, I think with this 9 of Cups underlying here, the Chariot says, look, if you can balance, and you're going to have to balance, you're going to have to break it down, you're going to have to confront the issues, and then you're going to have to stop passing judgment and make it happen. And I'm not saying that you're only passing judgment. I mean, they have judgments of their own. If you guys could come together with common goal of we love each other, common goal of we care about each other, common goal of we were once really good friends, whatever it is that you can come together, then the Chariot can move in the same direction and run smoothly. There's definitely a possibility here for reconciliation. You've just got to make some changes, and you do have to confront whatever the underlying issues are, or they're just going to sneak up eventually and not be a good twist in the relationship. So Aquarius, amazing. This has been beautiful. I hope you have a great month. I'll see you right before the beginning of the new year.